Hey guys, welcome back to Tamiya Legends, and once again, thank you for stopping by. We've got a Wild One at last. I've had loads of Wild Ones. It's right up there of one of my all-time favourite Tamiya two-wheel drive buggies, and we'll go into why in a bit. But if you've not seen the Wild One, that's what it looks like. Now, originally it came out in September '85 under part number 58050. The 50th Tamiya RC kit. Obviously this is a re-re which came out in July 2012 and the part number was 58525. I love this buggy. Now, as I say, this is a re-re version and it's not new in box. It's not to build, but I don't care. It's been done already by somebody. Look at that thing. I love all Tamiyas, but I really do enjoy this one. And I think I enjoy it so much because it's really different. You know, when you look at the first 100 poster, they're all, not all, but not the early ones, but when the buggies start coming out after the SRB range, they're all similar. But this one, I don't know, I just, the whole shape of this like beach buggy and the roll cage and the chassis design and things like that, it's completely different. Look at that. Look at that. God, I love this buggy so much. Again, I've had a lot of these originals and re-res, but I've never drove one. Hence why we're banging this one on the channel now. And this is I class this as a bit of a winter buggy. You know, this is one of the Tamiyas that I really want to see in the snow. You know, kicking snow up with the wheels spinning and what have you. Look absolutely epic. So I got this from a sales group over here in Canada. Got it for a decent price. You never quite know what you're going to get from pictures. You know, it said it was new built. It did say it's missing the battery cover. And I was like, ugh. It's a bit frustrating. I'll have to jump on eBay and find one. Anyway, when I got the box, it's all the battery fit equipment's in there. I think the guy didn't know the Wild One and he assumed it was a big plastic cover that, you know, a little bit like the Grasshopper Hornet one that clips in. And on the Wild One, it's an FRP triangular plate that clips in. We'll do it on this video, but it slides in one side and then there's a little locating pin there, and on the FRP you put a little metal bracket so it just lifts like a door, stick your battery in, close it, and a little pin through to that and your battery's in. There's a couple of red parts on the parts tray to put in, but as I say, what we'll do on this video, we'll get that battery on. I think, as I say, there's a big red parts tray. Just want to double check what's not been put on the car and we'll bang it on. It came fully ball raced. Now I believe the kit wasn't fully ball raced, I'm pretty sure it wasn't, so that's a great upgrade that's been done for me. It's got a standard 540 with it, and there's no speedo, but I've got plenty of these. The Wild One re-re didn't change much from the original whatsoever. Obviously electronic speed controller. The original had a very quite a unique setup where the 3-speed went on its side for space saving. Wheels, tyres, all the same. Decals changed slightly, as they all do with Tamiya. I think one of the biggest changes for me was the rear shock, the rear shock bodies. On the re-re it tapers into the bottom on this body here, but on the original the diameter stayed the same all the way down. One thing I picked up on straight away, this Major Pro decal here, that was supposed to be on the front and it's supposed to have a red Tamiya on the back. Now the red Tamiya decal is still in that box untouched, so I'm not going to dare pull that off, but we will. We'll fit that decal. So as I say, we'll put the battery, we'll put all the plastics on that need to be on, we'll put that decal on. There's a spotlight decal missing which is in there as well, which is a little bit odd, and that'll be basically the car finished. And then what we're going to do is do a tyre writing, because it's an absolute must on nearly every Tamiya car for me, but more so on this one, just for that beach buggy effect. It always amazes me finding buggies like this where people have you know, they've gone to the extent of buying it, because they're not cheap, buying it and building it to a really good standard, and then not finishing it and just leaving it. I find it very odd. But I guess there's loads of people who just buy a Tamiya kit, they fancy an RC car, and obviously when the Riri comes out in 2012-13, there'll have been loads of these things about. Oh, I like the look of that, I'll buy it. But always amazes me that you find them like this. Even to an extent where you find originals like that as well, that are just not so much not even loft finds, just things that have just not been touched, have been sort of 3/4 finished and then just put away for years. But as long as we can keep finding things like that, then it's happy days. God, I love this car. Don't know if I've said that, but I'm just telling you again in case you weren't listening first time. So let's get the camera on a close-up and we'll give you a quick tour of the Wild One. Look at that. Look at it. God, it's stick in comments, guys, if you like the Wild One or not. Not many people say no to it, I don't think. Got a great driver in it as well, driver unit. It's like a protective cover almost, protective electrics inside. We'll have a look how that's been painted. A lot of people make the mistake painting the hands a full distance, and the driver just has the biggest hands in the world. Another thing that people do, especially more on the originals, if you get a beat up one and it doesn't have a driver's helmet in, they think they can just stick a standard Tamiya driver head on. You can't, it's actually larger. It's kind of a bigger, although this is a 1/10 scale, it's kind of beefed up. So if you put a standard Tamiya head on there, it would look daft. What a thing, a beauty. Oil shocks all around. Really unique design. Actually, what I never said on this video is, this is probably my favourite Tamiya car I've ever built, new in box. Obviously not this one, but when I think I got the Riri in 2012 when it came out, and I always remember at the end of it, it was just one of the most enjoyable builds ever. So what can I show you? A lot of people think the Wild One is basically the fast attack vehicle, and it's not. There's quite a lot of differences from that. Fast attack vehicle came way before the Wild One, and the Wild One was kind of souped up from that. Different shocks, obviously wheels and tyres were different, chassis different, the layout's different. Not too sure if the gearbox is the same. We'll have to check that out when I do my fav. God, I love it. Look at it. That's awesome. So I think what we'll do next, I'll tell you what we can do first. Just whisk this body clip off and then I'll show you how the body goes on. So obviously you've got the, well, let me turn it on its side so you can see. So you've got all the plastic here and it goes round. There was 2 metal brackets, one on either side, and it clips into the back of this roll bar. So when you lift up, that slides out, and that's your little brackets. See if we can get them on camera. You see that? So those brackets just tuck in at the back. So that's your body shell. There's absolutely nothing to it. And then what I'll try do, take this clip off. Now from memory, this driver unit doesn't come out. God, that's solid. Let me just get another clip to pull that one out. Right, and then that lifts up. Oh, sorry, I tell a lie, there's 2 body clips. I'm gonna need another clip. There's 3 body clips, in fact. Right, see if I can whiz this one out. Oh, that's one. And then the second one, that's the clips. And then in theory, that pops out and that pops out. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure I can get this out without that roof. Yeah, I'm not gonna bend that. What we'll do now, we'll get the tool set out, which is here. Might as well do all this in real time. I know some of you guys are interested in this. So there's 2 screws into the front which come completely out. And then the rear 2 screws are on, they slide there on nuts. I'll just put my finger under that. From memory that just pulls out. Might be wrong. Yeah, I'm wrong. And that's the little roof unit. Just make sure we don't lose those washers. And that's that. That gives you an idea of a chassis. That's why it's so unique. I know this does come out, and I'm being a bit daft why I can't get it out. Is it like that? Don't want to force it too much. Oh God, that was hard work. Covered in dust. But it gives you some idea. I'll tidy this driver up. See where he's painted his hands? He's painted the hands correctly. He's not put the little black gap between his legs so you can see the sort of the chassis coming through. And I'll just build that up with black paint so it looks better. And obviously we'll get the flesh colour on his head, on his face. So that'll look way better. But that's it, guys. So I can see straight away there's a red cover that's supposed to come over this unit. Now this mould here was for the original 4 double A batteries to run your radio gear back in the day. Steering servo's in already. What make has he got? No name servo. But anyway, saves me doing one. Very basic setup. Very basic, but look at that. I mean, even with the plastics off, the polycarbonates off and the driver out, it still looks stunning. Loving it. So next job, what we'll do now is we'll dig those parts out of the box, we'll get the wheels and tyres off, we'll get the first tyre writing on. I always show you this just so you know. So I use a white Sharpie paint pen, and it tells me what nib it is, and it's an extra fine point. And make sure before you do that you give it a hell of a shake. So we'll do both front and back tyres, we'll give them a first coat, and then we'll go on and we'll just figure out this battery unit. Right, so that was nice and straightforward. We like them when they're like that. So we've done the tyre writing, that's had 2 coats. It's pretty good, but this is going to be a runner, so this stuff wears off pretty quickly if it's going to be on like dirt and gravel. So that's sharp enough for me, and it'll look great when it's fitted. I also just took a quick opportunity to put the flesh colour on the driver's helmet. Unfortunately that's supposed to be painted a nice bright red colour, but obviously he's put the decals on, so I don't want to rip them off. I fitted that Tamiya decal to the front of here, and it's got 2 spotlight decals on now, and very quickly just built the battery tray up, or battery cover, as I said. Those 3 slots go into the chassis and then held down with a body clip. So that's pretty much that. So what I'll do now is I'll just put it all back together and give it a quick dust off, and then we'll have a look at it. So I've just added a bit more detail to the driver. Thought I'd just show you that quickly. So obviously, as I said, I've done his flesh, which I'll do again. It'll need another coat, but I've coloured these because this round here was all white, so it just looks a little bit better. What I should have done actually is go all the way around, which I will do now. On this side, it's got the moulding, so I've just followed the black line around, got rid of that white. As I say, I'll do the same on here, and then I've just coloured those 2 sections in, which I'll do again as well to make it a more black colour. But it's, once the driver's in, it just looks way better. Looks a lot more sort of realistic. I have noticed the guy who built it hasn't taken the protective film off this cover. I probably can't see it, but you can see on the inside of that steering wheel. Now obviously he's used the seatbelt decals and what have you. So I'm just going to leave that on. What I may do in the future is order a set of reproduction original decals from MCI and make the changes then, possibly, and put a lot more detail into the helmet. But that's way better than it was anyway. So let's get the car built. Oh, just before I do that, I'll just show you very quickly the battery. I'll just lift the camera up slightly. So this is the battery tray unit, as I say, which it's got 3 prongs, and they're just, it's a bit of a tight fit. they just slide in, making sure all three are in. Push it, and then that goes down. Obviously a body clip on this section, and then your battery goes across there, and that's that. And there we go, looking pretty badass if I do say so myself. I'm trying to show you that driver figure, just so you can kind of, you can probably see it from the other side better. But if you colour that arm in, you see how his arm looks like proper size now. His hands were good, it's usually that that's wrong, but on this one it was a body. You can't really see the detail inside. But yeah, that's looking pretty cool. I'm loving that. Just did find something though. The front outer wheels are ball raced, but the inner are bushes. So when I first got the car, I could see the bearings there, so I pulled the back wheel off, pulled the wheel adapter off, and I could see a bearing in there, so I assumed it was fully ball raced. Now I'm not so sure, with two missing from either side. So I've got bearings, so it's not a problem. But before we put the electric, or as we put the electrics in, I'm going to have to drop that gearbox out and make sure it's fully ball raced. God, I love this car. Everything about it's just awesome. God, it's a beast. It's a real looker for me. It really is. Look at that. Look at it. Yeah, it's just one of my favourite Tamiyas. I was going to say favourite two-wheel drive, but it's up there for my... It's definitely in my top 5 favourite Tamiyas. So guys, that's it for this video. It's really as far as I can go. I would say, because I've just found that ball race issue, I might as well just do it as I'm fitting the electrics, because I really should check that gearbox and make sure it's got some grease in it and what have you before I run it. It could have been built as a dry build, and that'd be a big error on my part if I went out and ran it pretty hard as well. So what do you think? Are you a fan of the Wild One? If you're not, put it in the comments. I'd be interested to know why you don't like it. God, I love it. There's I know I kind of do say it about every Tamiya car I get my hands on, but I'm really looking forward to get this whizzing in the snow, and I'm that much so that I might just put it on the shelf until the snow's here. Although, saying that, what I will do, because I've got some old beat up, well they're not actually beat up, they're in pretty good nick. I've got the full set of Hot Shot wheels and tyres, which are the same. So what I might do is do the tyre rating on the pair of those and put those on the back, and once we put the electrics in, we'll whiz it out on tarmac, maybe before the snow gets here, and just have a rip up and down with it, probably just with the 540 motor on 2S. Change a motor maybe, I don't know. 2S and 540 is great for me, to be honest, more so for gravel, but it'd be nice just to get this ripping on tarmac as well, just to see it going. And you know what, more I think about it, well, might as well just do it quickly, get a tarmac run, then do a gravel run, because this thing's just going to look superb sliding around, kicking dirt up, and then save it for a snow run. That sounds like a plan, doesn't it guys? That sounds better. Anyway, very happy with this one. Love it. So guys, I will shut up from babbling. So once again, thanks for watching, it's really appreciated. If you are new to this channel, if you could please consider liking and subscribing, and if you do that, please smash that notification buzzer for our weekly videos. And anyone else, please like, comment, share, push this out there. We're trying to get this channel going. So thanks for watching guys, and most importantly, happy arseeing.